of course, there's plenty taking place on the ground as we continue these discussions. COSATU and its alliance partners, that's the ANC and SACP, saying they're looking forward to hosting successful National Workers' Day celebrations at Athlone Stadium. That's in Cape Town. It's also where we find Lulama Matya, who's part of our team, watching the build-up to at least the official keynote address later on today. And Lulama, we spoke a little earlier on. Of course, what's taking place in the background is that march from Athlone Stadium to where you are. Have any of those marchers started arriving yet?
Welcome back to Athlone Stadium. Yes, they are on their way. Athlone police station, where the march started, is about 2 kilometers to the Athlone Stadium, where they are coming. But for now, there are some that they have arrived on the stadium. On my left and my right hand side, COSATU members or workers are here braving a wet and a cold morning in Cape Town. But to talk to us more about today's program is COSATU spokesperson Matthew Parks. Welcome to the SABC.
Thanks for having us and thanks for being here.
Mr. Parks, some are saying it's a sad day for workers today. They are supposed to be celebrating this important day, which comes once in a year, but petrol is up today.
No, look, sure. I mean, there are many issues we have to manage. It's a day to reflect on the sacrifice many workers have made before us. The Oscar Petters, the Ray Alexanders, who struggled for many, many generations to take us where we are today. But it's also a chance to reflect on the victories we have won. We have a constitutional democracy. We're celebrating 30 years of democracy. We put in place a variety of progressive labor laws that improve the working conditions, the rights and protections of many workers, from paid maternity leave to now paid parental leave, to a minimum wage that's raised the wages of 6 million workers, from farm workers to domestic workers to cleaners to waitresses. But also the chance to say to government, and of course to our ally, the ANC, the ruling party, we need to do more, we need to do much better, we need to do much faster. We can't celebrate a 41% unemployment rate, deep levels of poverty and inequality, the issues of corruption. But even with those issues, we can also say when we see progress, we must commend it. Unemployment has fallen by 5% in the past year alone. That's good, but we must do much more. We've seen good progress on load shedding, from 12 hours of load shedding a day a year ago, which was an absolute disaster. We have not had load shedding for about a month now. Still not out of the woods, but it's progress. We need to see more being done around Transnet, which is key to hundreds of thousands of jobs in mining, manufacturing, agriculture. We need to help more young people get into the labor market. The youth unemployment rate of 60% is scary. And you can't sustain a society like this. So it's a mixed bag. There are good things we celebrate, and we mustn't forget them. People died to get us where we are today. But also we must do much more, because we can't simply rest upon the victories of yesterday. We must focus on the challenges of today and tomorrow.
Talking about load shedding, which is also having an impact on workers. Some have lost their jobs, some are working short hours, meaning that at the end of the day, it's less money in their pockets. What do you think needs to be done to arrest the situation completely? Because as you're saying, it's more than a month now without load shedding. I'm sure everyone wants it to be a year and more years to come.
Look, we're thinking Eskom and government made good progress. To go from 12 hours a day to where we are right now, no load shedding for a month. And I think they're beginning to put in place the proposal we had made as COSATU in 2020. A competent manager, we have a new CEO in place. They're beginning to deal with the issue of the corruption, which was endemic across Eskom. They've really ramped up the focus on maintenance, which is key to getting us out of the crisis immediately. But what we need to do is to make sure we have new generation coming on board. We are seeing coming on board because many of our power stations are simply so old, they're going to trip all the time. It's like having a car which was made 40 years ago. Of course it's going to have issues. So we're seeing progress, but we're not out of the woods yet. We've made good progress from a year ago. We think by December we'll have finally turned the corner. But still, much more needs to be done, because the generation fleet, by its nature, is very old. And we know there was huge problems of corruption, but again, we want to appreciate there is progress on that front. I think for us right now, the biggest threat to the economy is the issues of Transnet. Because if you can't get our exports through the ports, it threatens local jobs. And we've seen the impact on the mining. But again, we've seen with new management being appointed at Transnet late last year, and they seem to be coming to grips with issues. We are seeing a stabilization at Transnet and our ports. So that gives us hope that we are beginning, like with Eskom, to turn the corner.
Talking up, you're saying that there's many that has been done, but there's a room for improvement. achievement, but there's a lot to celebrate as well. As COSATU, you want the ANC to win come 29 May and return in government. What's your stance on corruption as COSATU? Because corruption affects poorest of the poor, which the majority are your members.
Yeah. Look, we have to have a zero tolerance approach to corruption. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's our friend, if it's our relative, or if it's an ANC leader. That's what we celebrated when the former president, Jacob Zuma, was held in contempt of court. That's a sign of accountability. We were very happy when the Speaker of the National Assembly resigned and she could be charged, because that's how you build accountability. We've seen good progress at the South African Revenue Service to deal with tax evasion. People are now being arrested, are being sent to prison. The National Prosecuting Authority is beginning to arrest people, secure convictions, people who have sold ID documents and passports at Home Affairs, people who have stolen from the Unemployment Insurance Fund. For us, that's what we need to see, and that's good progress, but we need to see more big fish. But I think when we were 5 years ago, when corruption was being orchestrated by the most powerful persons in the country, today those very same persons are so offended by the ANC cleaning itself up, they are forming new little political parties. So I think for us, it's a welcome sign for the better.
Any particular reason why you chose to hold the main rally in Cape Town in the Western Cape?
Look, we have rallies across the country in all 9 provinces. Western Cape, Cape Town is a parliamentary capital. It's a huge base of the working class. It's got a long history of struggles from the 1910s. The Communist Party, in fact, was founded in the Western Cape. The United Democratic Front was founded in Mitchell's Plain. But also we think there's a need to make sure that all workers across the country enjoy the benefits of democracy, enjoy the government programs which are being rolled out. And we see in Cape Town, people are not enjoying that. In Manenberg, people are scared at night. Will my child be hit in gang crossfire by bullets, stray bullets? In Khayelitsha, the levels of homelessness are scary. The unemployment rate in Cape Town is still deeply racially stratified. In white communities in Constantia, there is indeed a great life, not even a better life, a fantastic life. But if you go to Athlone, where we are today, there's a problem of gangs, of drug abuse, of unemployment, of homelessness. Go to Guguletu in Philippi, people's shacks are being flooded during winter like today. So I think for us to put a spotlight, the Democratic Alliance says it has a good story to tell. That might be true in white communities, but in African and colored communities, people are struggling. So I think for us it's about shining the spotlight and to say to all government, to all political parties, we need to do much better for working class communities.
Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you.